Greetings, everyone, and a very warm welcome to yet another edition of Marketing the Invisible. I'm joined today by Michael Davis. Michael, g'day, a warm welcome from down under here in Australia. Where are you hanging out?
I'm in the Midwest of the United States, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio, where they are currently in the middle of one of the best tennis tournaments outside of the US Open and a lead into the US Open. Folks, it is August at time of recording, and I'm a tennis nut, and Michael actually lives pretty close to the tennis center, right? In
I'm
Cincinnati?
10 minutes away from it, and I avoid the traffic.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yes, work around that. Off tennis, onto Michael's specialty, which is shifting people from freaking out about speaking to actually presenting in a manner which is influential, ethical, authentic, and powerful relative to whatever it is you wanting to be, your goal for any presentation, whether that's sales or leadership, conversion teams, public speaking, et cetera, et cetera. He's helps professional boost influence through powerful presentations. This now is not me riffing, it's from Michael's bio. He's a formal fearful speaker. He's now a coach, author, and founder of Speaking CPR, serving clients globally. Michael, real quick, tell us about being a former fearful speaker. What happened? Butterflies in the stomach, or like when I started, more like jumbo jets, in the stomach. What forgot stuff?
Uh,
What? Tell us what's going on. In fact, what we'll do is we'll do question 3 now in the form of your short story. So I'm going
Absolutely.
to start the timer.
Yeah, I'm a former financial planner, and back in the 90s, I gave these workshops because I was told to, even though my boss didn't know I was terrified of standing in front of people because when I was 6 years old, I had a humiliating experience from my first grade teacher, and because of that, I avoided speaking to people. But
Right.
I was told to do it. I had to save my job. That went poorly. My boss said, and I quote, "You're a lousy speaker. You suck. Fix this or you're finished."
Wow.
So I
The,
eventually
the,
found Toastmasters.
right. Which is which is fantastic way to get confidence, isn't it? I mean, that might be a top tip right there. I better get back to the format of the interview. But so question 3 that I was going to ask you later, but I'm asking you now is what's going on in someone's life when they're trying to speak? What are they feeling? What's going on? How do they know they need your services is the question, I guess.
Well, it's nerves is not the issue. It's a human reaction to be nervous of standing in front of people. When it controls them so much and it paralyzes them and they can't get out coherent thought, or they just don't have a comprehensive and cohesive talk that gets results, that's when they should look for a coach because they're not getting the results they expect.
Right. So what I'm hearing you say there is that if you're confident that you've got a presentation that's going to, knock them dead, drag them out sort of thing, then you're going to feel less nervous. If it's well rehearsed, it's well thought through, you're excited about getting the result that you're hoping to get, that's going to help a lot. So, well, let's get back. Let me get back on track now. Question one: describe your ideal client.
It is a business, executive, CEO, an entrepreneur, an executive who is coachable, who understands that communication is an important skill, and they're willing to invest in themselves, not just money, but time and their comfort zone to have more of an impact.
So I mean, what's coming to mind now is this. I mean, I can think of some of our clients who would be very nervous and fearful of speaking, and who would be helped considerably by having a presentation which is powerful and influential, and people are standing ovation at the end. They would be helped by that. I think of other people that also need your services. That it's almost the personification of the Mark Twain quote. It's not what we don't know that hurts us. It's what we think we know that just ain't so. I can think of people that can stand up and can present, but it's like the verbal equivalent of eating spaghetti, it's just all over the place. So they're confident, they might
Right.
even be encouraged, they just haven't thought it through, and the audience is left going, "Well, that's a very charismatic person. I have no idea what that was about."
That's a
So
lot.
if you're listening to this and you're feeling fearful, yes, it's probably you need to talk with someone like Michael. But if you just kind of wing it on the way through, it's not going to cut the mustard in this day and age. So tell us question 2, anything you want? I think we've got a good handle on the problem you solved, but do you want to flesh that out a little bit?
Yeah, the biggest problem, Tom, is too much information, and
Mm.
people, we gotta remember our phones have more information that we can get than any speaker will. I don't need your information, I need your interpretation of the information, your
Ooh,
experience,
I like that.
and that's something AI can't give us.
Yeah, it's not the information, it's the interpretation of the information. There's a gardeners have a saying, "The best earth has gone through the worm." You know, and it's analogous to the idea that it's our experience that can speak to people, the articulation of our experience, our perceptions, our feelings, our journey, if you like. So,
Absolutely.
what would you say are some of the common mistakes that people make when they're trying to present a powerfully influential talk?
Well, I mentioned the biggest is too much information. It's
All
just
right.
an information dump, and secondly, no structure. Nothing that hooks them from
Yeah.
the start and compels them to want to lean forward and keep listening and not go to their phones. So
Right.
those are the 2 biggest I see.
So you have a sequence that you lead your clients through in the creation of a presentation, not just a yeah. And I think that's a lot of people struggle with that structure, that framework, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it happens to be, that sequence. So that's interesting, and it leads us quite nicely to further resource. I want to come back to the top tip in a moment. I've got the slightly other sequence, but you have a wonderful web page where people can learn much more about storytelling and insights and sharing experiences, etc. What's that URL, Michael?
It's 52storyinsights.com. 52storyinsights.com. And now give weekly insight. It's a 5-minute audio and a transcript of that lesson.
Fantastic. All right. So this is something that's going to help you. Folks, go to 52, the number's 52, storytelling
Mm.
insights.
Story
.com.
insights. Yes.
Storyinsights.com. Thank you.
Yes.
Storyinsights.com. And I'm going to ask you a question about a top tip. So this is, folks, you know, I don't want to, we don't have time to do the whole process here, but Michael, to help people get started after they've been to that website, what's a top tip you can give someone that's going to give, it's kind of give them the first step in the journey towards mastery of presentations?
Sure. There's a rule we use, Tom, and it depends on how much time you have in a speech. So say you've been given 30 minutes. We call it the 10-to-1 rule. For every 10 minutes of speaking time, have one support point. So if I'm talking about storytelling, for example, I have a process called storytelling abs, ABS. Those are the 3 levels. I can get through those 3 in a 30-minute talk. Give enough insight and perspective so people have something useful they can take action on.
Right.
And if they want
So
to come to me for more, they can.
so divide by so you said divide by 3, whatever time you have, and
Yeah, divide
spend
by 10. Yeah, 10
divide
minutes
by
for
10, I
each
beg your
one.
pardon. So 10,
Right.
10 minutes. All right. So if I've got 20 minutes, it's 2 main points I'm putting across. If I've got an hour, I can probably get away with 6, although 3 might be even better.
3 to me, 3 is max because
Yeah.
3, I can go deeper into the 3.
Yeah. And also people they can remember 3, but it's difficult for them to get motivated by 6. So let's go to the last question. What's the one question I should have asked you but didn't?
Who makes the better speaker, introvert or extrovert? My
Ooh.
experience, the more impactful speakers are introverts.
Uh,
Nothing
yeah.
against extroverts. Extroverts talk a lot, but
Yeah.
sometimes I got to work hard to find out what they're saying.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And it's a bit like the best comedians are often depressed.
Absolutely. Yes, they tend to
It's the
be.
opposite of what you might think. Michael Davis, thanks so much for your time. Been a blast.
Thank you, Tom.
Cheers.
Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.